Everything's good. We back. We live. We in the building.
We live, baby. Fresh
Ah,
out the plane.
all right.
I got the same clothes I had on yesterday in the club. I didn't get a chance to take a shower.
Where were you?
Uh, I was I was in Maryland.
What part of Maryland?
I was in Silver Spring. First I had to go to Virginia for my dean's wedding, and
Okay.
then after that, shout out to the homies, man. They always keep me booked and busy, man. I After that, I went to society to host. And
Okay.
then I really ain't even getting no sleep. I probably slept for like an hour. I hopped on a flight. I went to go get my car, came back home, and we live. We were live. Same clothes from last night. I don't
Good
got
job.
a haircut or nothing, man. It's cruddy, but we consistent with it. That's what we gonna do. We're a little late, but we here.
Whatever, man. We out
We
here. We
here.
doing. If I had known you was in DC, I would have pulled up. I ain't do really nothing yesterday except for like cleaning and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like a bunch of my plans fell through last minute, so I was just like sitting around chilling. But
Yeah, man. How you, man? What's going on? How was the week? Talk to me. Let's get
yo,
to it.
the week was a blessing, bro. Like it was just so much, just working, moving around, getting things done. Man, I'm in a fluctuating space. You know what I mean? Because I know getting myself mentally prepared to move and getting myself physically prepared to move is a thing. I feel like in my younger years, I would just do stuff without paying no attention. Like, bro, like it would be like, oh, we gonna move to Atlanta? All right, cool. Pack my stuff, put it in a box, don't think nothing about nothing, and just go. But like when you get older, you start realizing that, man, like you can't, I end up losing a lot of stuff. You end up like causing a lot of problems. And it's just not as cool. When you 20, you can sleep on anybody's couch and ain't nobody looking at you crazy.
Yeah.
But you can't be in your 40s couch hopping. Like that's just not cool. That's what I be trying to tell people. Like you can't even do stuff like you used to do it. But the blessing is just being able to do that, just being able to like sending out resumes. Like a couple of my homeboys, I just sent them resumes. They was like plugging me into different like stuff. So like I'm just excited, and just kind of I'm gonna be very transparent. Last night I was coming home from the movies. It wasn't late, like 9. I have a connection to Baltimore. I love my hometown, bro. Like when I left the first time, I was sick for like a couple months. But there are moments in my life when I recognize that times have changed. And me going home and normally feeling like this warmth, I just don't feel it anymore. And like I'm riding home feeling like this ain't home. Like it don't feel like home anymore. Like, and maybe it's because everybody grown now, all the kids is grown and everybody got their own lives and marriages and all that. Maybe it's because I may not have an intimate place in any specific space. But even like some of my closest friends, bro, everybody's doing their own thing. And I'm just be like, it just doesn't seem to be where I need to be right now. So just a weird space. I mean, I ain't
you
trying
know
to
what I did though. I remember I moved to Laurel, even though it's like 30 minutes away. But I intentionally did that to get in a space where I'm not in Baltimore, so I can be used to it. So by the time I stayed in Laurel for a year or two, moving to Atlanta was really easy because even though Laurel was 35 minutes away, I wasn't always in Baltimore, so I was just used to not being there. So it made the transition easy for me. But also like what I think when you come down here, you'll be doing what you love as well, though. Like, and I think that's something that we should talk about too. Just you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you doing what you love, you could do that in any space, right? Like, it make it easy to do that in any space.
I don't want to cut you off, but I want to add on to what you just said, though. At this level that I'm at, I don't want to do it with just anybody. Like, I it's like I done started from zero with people so many times that don't know, and you know what I mean, they might be excited about, oh, I want to do a podcast or I want to do a live stream, but for them to not know how to conduct themselves, they don't understand the power of their words. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even just coming in and understanding that, like, every time that camera come on, you got to have a certain energy. You can't just be like, Yeah, yo, and like, nah, nigga, wake it up, nigga. Like, we here to turn up.
Yeah, you gotta work because Lord
You
knows
gotta
I'm tired right now. I ain't getting no
exactly,
sleep, like maybe 2
exactly,
hours of sleep, but whatever.
exactly. And I
Yep.
mean, it's frustrating to work with people that don't know. It's like, to me now, it's like I'd rather just not even do it. If it's
Yeah.
not gonna be somebody that's lit or got at least know how to conduct themselves, I'm really just kind of like, nah. But go ahead.
Did we want to go to? We were talking about and that's why I love this. We could do what we want. Did we want to go to Patreon or no? We could wait, save that. I don't know, because you had the rundown.
I do want to go to Patreon. I listened to I mean, I watched it. I ain't even watch it. I really listened to the hold on, let me pull it up. So I was listening to the one you did with my guy Ace Hood. Like, I mean, he's not my guy, but I listened to the Ace Hood episode, and first of all, I haven't seen you that animated in a long time. Like, you obviously have a real you really are not necessarily a fan, but
I
like,
came in.
you really are somebody that you know what I mean, respects this guy. First of all, I just want that to be known. Like, you came in with a lot of respect. Not saying that he didn't deserve it. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, I like Ace Hood. I actually like a lot of his mixtape music more than his album music, but I never was like, he was never the guy that kind of like, woo. But like, I could see that you were excited to talk to him. That was some deep conversation, bro.
Yeah.
Deep conversation, bro. Like, yo, and then, like, you kept saying, you was like, man, I got a script. You ain't even
touch it. Pause.
You ain't touched none of the stuff you was wanting to get into. But the conversation was so freaking good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, how in the world? So, all right, first of all, tell me how this incarnation happened, because y'all did one on live a couple of years ago. So how did this come together?
So I've been hitting them because I lost the footage on live. Like, I couldn't post it.
Okay.
I don't know where it went. I lost it, whatever. So when I got to the A or whatever, when I've been doing this new style of podcasting, how I've been doing it, I've been hitting them up like, yo, let's do it. And like, I don't know if he's seen it or not, but whenever he saw it, it was all love from the jump. It was like, yo, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But like, he's still a fucking star. You know what I'm saying? So like, even when he said let's do it, it took some time for real. And then when he got here, he's like, bro, you was in Atlanta, which is cap. I love this guy, but he was like, man, if you would have told me if you would have been told me you was in Atlanta, then we could have, nigga, it wouldn't have been no faster or not. Like, but so but even this was pretty straightforward. Like, I reached out to him, he got back to me, and I think I might have had to follow up maybe twice. And it's been times I had to follow up a lot. You feel me? But we set the date and we just got it done. You feel me? I was in conversation. I was in communication with my guy Zoe at Bel Air about shooting some content there. And I was skeptical on that. I really didn't care to do that, to be honest. We went down that route before. It really didn't make sense for me, and he made it make sense. I'm gonna be honest. Like, he's just a cool dude, man. Such a cool dude. He reciprocates energy really well. So I was like, bro, it seems like the energy is there. Let's do it. So we shot it here, and then I think my week was so busy, I didn't really get a chance to prepare. Now, I watched some interviews and I wrote down some notes, but even that was lazy because like I like to prepare, have my notes, even then study my notes. So I don't want to pull up my phone and have to go over my notes, to be honest, right? So I try to study my notes. But in this case, I was a lot. It was a lot going on, bro. So even when the intro wasn't like how I wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot going on. I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be, but he made it easy. Like, he came in just wanting to talk. So
yeah. So like, I got a production question. So like, with this particular episode, yo, did they supply the cameras, or did you have to come in and do your whole setup? Okay, so they just had the space and you had to come in and like set all 5 of your cameras up and shoot. Damn, that's a lot. So all right, so what type of time were you on a separate setup? Was it like 45 minutes?
Nah, probably like an hour and a half, maybe.
And even I know they had to have lighting, but did you bring any of your stuff too?
I brought every single thing that was mine, literally. Like we set up every single thing. Like, it was like a full production. Like, it was my lights, my camera. They had one light that I used, but still, it was like my lights, my camera, my tripods. Literally every single thing was mine. Even down to the camera that my cameraman took pictures on. Literally every single thing was mine. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Let's get into just a couple of minutes of it. I want people to just. This is crazy.
Hey, another special guest is here. When I say special, man, sheesh, this is probably one of my favorite guests so far because, like, coming from where I'm coming from, like, we don't really get these opportunities like this, right? And the fact that I could sit down, we did an interview in the middle of the pandemic on Instagram Live, and the fact that I could sit down with this guy face to face, man to man, and have a conversation that just show the level of growth of the platform of myself from my city. You feel me? Like, you know, we from Baltimore, you know how we rock, man. And I was a big fan and still am a big fan of this guy outside of the music. I mean, talking about growth, man. This guy came from dropping out favorite hits.
Yo, I wanna give you some flowers real quick. Like, and this is something that I've noticed more and more in your present day. Your energy is so different. You are so much more engaged. I don't know if I'm rubbing off on you in a way, but your tempo is speeding up and you're coming in with a lot of energy. Like, so your intros are becoming, and then your skin looks crazy. I don't, in a good way. I'm saying, like, skin popping out here. I don't know what you're doing. What you got, a facial routine regimen you doing on now?
Well, but I actually do. It might be the running though, but also I don't eat a lot of. I don't eat as much sugar. Like, so I don't drink juice. I only drink water. Literally, only drink water. I eat a lot of fruit. Maybe that has something to do with it. And I do exfoliate my face like every day. I mean, I don't know, bro. Thank you though.
When you put those expensive and this is something I know people are like, oh, yo, you glazing it. I'm like, yo, when you put expensive cameras on and you're sitting in front of those cameras, everything is seen. Like, you see everything. So it's the fact that you put so much attention to detail to make sure that your presence is appropriately visible, but also that you're matching how your celebrity is coming off. Like, you got somebody that's multi-platinum, so you coming in the room with the look too, and I think that's so important. And it's not over the top. Like, you could have came in with some crazy Dior shirt or something on, but you got a nice clean look. Your energy is high. You know what I mean? Shout out to Joy Through Life. You know what I mean? Talking about much love from Baltimore. Shout out to you. But yo, these are super important elements. I want anybody at home, like, if you're a podcaster or you want to be a podcaster, like, you got to pay attention to details. All of this stuff is super important. How you present, how you pull stuff up. I mean, like, down to your skin tone. Because this man got some crazy expensive cameras, so they picking up everything. But anyway, I ain't trying to go too much. Go ahead.
Bugatti. Like, I mean, like, shit, like, it's so many songs that I don't even want to try to do it and forget. You feel me? I ain't even want to slaughter it. Mr. Ace Hood is in a building. What up, dog? Yo, make some noise, my nigga Ace Hood. You feel me?
I ain't knocked over his juice.
Yo, like, what's up, bro? What's up, my yo, I don't even know where to start because, like, this is one of them things that I ain't even had to, like, study for. Like, they say, like, some of your best conversations be just people you fans of.
Yeah.
And, like, you definitely, like, was one of the people that, like, that had the hip-hop game on lock, on smash. And I'm not gonna lie, just thinking about that, I know where I come from and I know the platform I hold now, but I didn't always have this platform, right? So, like, the little boy in me, the kid in me, when I go back and listen to your catalog, because you got so much music out now, still what people don't know, they should know. I kind of, like, feel bad in the sense of you deserve way more. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you feel like that sometimes?
I understand what you're saying. I think
that was a hard question for me.
I think it depends on what lens you look through that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of
that's like the way he approach. Well, first of all, good question. Second of all, the way he's approaching the way he's approaching his answer is a mature thing. Now, another thing I want to bring up is that I feel like if you would have done this interview 6 months ago, you were a completely different person 6 months ago. Your approach to the interview would have been completely different. But, like, what people are going to notice if y'all take the time, like sign up on Patreon right now. The episode is on Patreon. And I just the only reason why I wanted to do this is because I wanted people to kind of tap in on the production side on like the approach and what makes a difference on doing an interview. So like Jay is on a health journey. He's on a spiritual growth journey. You know what I'm saying? You are on a finding yourself journey. And it's interesting because 6 months ago, not saying that you weren't trying to grow 6 months ago, but I think the amount of focus that you are putting into self-growth is exponentially more than before. So when you sit down with somebody like him, who is also super heavy in spiritual growth, personal development, even the fitness and all of that, you're able to engage him in a completely different level than you would have been able to do 6 months ago. Okay. So the topics would have been completely different. Like I don't like the things that you made his face light up on were things like, he's kind of like, yo, nigga, you understand. Yeah. You understand where I'm coming from, or what my purpose is, or this is where I'm trying to go. And like your questions come from experience, but you are also asking from I'm still at the early stages of mine, so I need information. And it ended up being that exchange ended up being so important because now he got to speak on stuff that he probably doesn't normally get to have conversations and interviews when you're talking about records and even the way you address the We the Best stuff. Like it was professional. It was super professional. It was like definitely dope. It's like you pressed him, you didn't overly press him, and he gave his answers and it was good. But that ended up being kind of like that wasn't even the best parts of the conversation. The conversation was so impactful.
And honestly, I might just be straight up. I'm transparent. I kind of didn't want to touch the We the Best thing because I wasn't prepared. And when I go and I wanted to be prepared going into that conversation, right? But I'm like, I kept it where we was at. We're talking about health. We're talking about fitness journey, and it's like, especially at the end, like I don't think he understood where I was going with that because, like, he's married, right? Got kids, and I'm really asking out of curiosity because I'm like, yo, I need the answers. Like, help me out when it comes to this relationship stuff, right? Like, it was definitely something. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Like me just trying to learn something from him as well.
So all right, when you're into the moment, like you spent an hour and a half setting up, what time does he pull up? Does he pull up like right after you finish, or is he pulling up
like he pulls up on time. We get there, we set up, and like he pulls up on time. And shout out to my team, shout out to Joe, like everybody, like because everybody's trying to man, shout out to my guys, man. They are trying to put me in a space where I can just be the talent, and I'm telling them we're just not there yet. I respect it. I appreciate y'all wanting to put me in this position where I could just pull up and just sit down. That's dope. We would get there, but we're not there yet. It's still some things that y'all got to learn about me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So on the back end, you don't have to hit my mouth, right? Like you got to learn the shots that I like, how I want it. You feel me? And we're getting there. We're getting there. Like even with something small as if you see the video, you see I knock my water down. Joe picked up that water. So these are little things. I'm like, yo, let's get those things. It's the small things. If we can get that underway first and under wraps, then I could trust you guys more. I can become the talent. But right here, I'm like, nah, bro, I got to set up. So Ace Hood comes in. I'm kind of tired. I just set up. I ain't really get a chance to do nothing. Like, mind you, we shot. I think our call time was maybe 3. We get there. I was running late because I had to edit before. We were supposed to get there at 12. I get there like 1. Like, we're rushing. So like, he gets in. I'm like, all right, the guest here, I don't want to have him waiting. So it was really like sped through for real.
Right.
So.
And then you got to put yourself in interview space. You know what I mean? You kind of got to like center yourself and all right, take a deep breath. I mean, and like there's look, you got the exhaustion, you got producer brain, then you got like, a little bit of fan, you know what I mean? You got nervousness. Yeah. And I be trying to tell people like, yo, there's so much going on in your brain when they press the record button. Like it's not until you can get to a space of being just the host.
And let's be real, this is also an interview that I want. So on top of that, now I'm making sure I want to make sure my shots are perfect. This ain't one of them ones where we can make a mistake. Like not saying I never want to make a mistake with none of my guests, but this just ain't one. Sometimes it'd be like, yo, well, at least it wasn't 50 Cent. At least it wasn't Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like this is preparing us for our big interview. This is the big interview for me. So it's like we can't mess this one up, right? So now I'm looking at screens, monitors. I'm like, yo, is everything good? Like, let's make sure this is perfect because I don't want to come on the back end and it's not perfect. So like it was a lot. But that's why I say even opening the interview with that question, it was hard because I never want to rub somebody wrong, but I mean that's just how I felt. I'm like, bro, I feel like you kind of deserve more. I might have just should have said it, but I was just like, yo, like I felt like you might have deserved more, bro.
Nah, I feel like that's a perfect way to open up a conversation. I mean, you know what I mean? Because eventually we're going to get into where the future lies, even if you decide to go backwards. So like, all right, so I'm going to ask you this question, and then now you get to spend an hour and a half qualifying. You know what I'm saying? Why you deserve more. You know what I mean? Like, all right, this is what I've been through. This is how I got established. These are all of the obstacles I had to go through to become who you looking at, and how and then even the person you're looking at may not be as acknowledged as they should be. You know what I mean? Given the fact that his journey, a lot of dudes could never survive what he go through, or to be able to be as poised and as respectful as he is, because he could have aired out a lot of situations, but he chooses not to, and to be able to stand on being a husband and a father and all these other things. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, I think I'm finding my niche in this interview space, and for the sake of conversation, for the people that don't understand, we understand. I think I like the space of interviewing the has-beens. Like, you have a better word. I'm terrible at these wording things, so it's no disrespect. But like,
how about veterans?
Veterans, right? Like I think specifically those who like had something going on, and like for the majority of the world think they fell off the map. Because a lot of times we think people fall off the map, but they still making music. Like OJ the Juice Man, he's still making music. Ace Hood still been making music. It's just it's not on a level what we was introduced. Right. So we thought first thing we think is where they been. Same with when I did K-Camp. It's like people saying K-Camp fell off. This guy does sold out shows like every other damn week. You get what I'm saying? But I love that conversation with those guys. Like, I love that because they're able to show and shine a light of like what they're doing and what they've been doing. And like, let's not get the game messed up, because I'll fall off. I'm still here. Right. I love those conversations.
I love those guys because they have experiences that make great conversations.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then there's jewels that we can leave behind for the next generation. Oh shoot, there's jewels that can leave behind for me. I think a lot of those conversations are really, all right, number one, I'm a fan, so I got stuff that I got questions about. But then on the other side, I'm just like, yo, what can you teach me as I'm growing into my space? And you're already established in yours. Like, tell me how I need to move. Tell me how I need to navigate. Tell me how, tell me what you did wrong so I can avoid it, but also tell me what you did right. You know what I mean? And just even how to mentally, I feel like that's something underrated, but this whole episode is going to be a lot of that, talking about handling things here. Like, because a lot of your outcome comes from how you carry it in your brain.
Facts, 100% right.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So my next question with this is, you know what I mean? When we look at this episode, you know what I mean, is for you, what is it that you felt like went exceptionally right? And tell me what went wrong.
All right. So pause right here. It didn't go wrong, but these are little things that I'm looking at for far as production, right? And like for me, because I'm not a Charlemagne, I'm not a Joe Budden, I'm not a like Nori. My stuff has to be flawless because I need to keep your attention. Like, people have short attention spans, so like when you see like a lot of people are being introduced to me the first time. Like, granted, I have a big support system, so those people know me, but that ain't nowhere compared to where I want to go, right? So I say that to say little things that I might pick up that y'all probably wouldn't even think of. So it's a window in the spot. So if you see on Ace Hood right side, you see like a glare, right? If you see, like, that's from a window. When you're recording, you want to have controlled lighting. So because we're recording, our shot look different because he has the sun is shining on him, and it kind of it doesn't mess it up. It's just, I don't like that, right? Like, we want to control that.
It makes it fuzzy and it doesn't make it sharp.
Yeah. So we want to control that, right? So that's something that I would fix. And I mean, outside of that, I think we did pretty good with this. I was satisfied. Like, I left this happy. I left this talking to my team like, yo, we did that. Like, because even with the water bottle falling, I had brought that up, and I seen Joe picked it up and like, oh, you're a savage. Like, that was I was super satisfied with this. If anything, like I said, I would have just been more prepared because this could have been like a 2-3 hour interview, to be honest. Like it could have been 2-3 hours for sure.
But you had a small block?
Nah. And he was cool. It's just, again, I didn't want to go into that. I just didn't want to go into that we the best conversation because I wanted to be prepared for that.
Got you. All right, so that glare, that was the worst. That was
yeah, because it wasn't like, if you see it's like a glare on my side, right? But this is, I want this is I created this. That wasn't created by us. You know what I'm saying? So like it just it is what it is. It wasn't bad though.
The attention to detail is crazy. And like I want y'all that's watching or people at home to understand is that these are the things that he'll be like, I don't even want to put it out. Or like there'll be so many small things that you'll come up with and you'll be like, nah, it ain't perfect, it ain't right. And I'm just like, nobody's gonna notice that. Like, had you not said something to me, I would have never paid attention to that at all. The only thing I kept saying was, this is shot really well. I'm like, this is such a beautiful shot. And I think when they created the set, they did a great job of making it look obviously over the hell advertising themselves. I get that, but it does look mature. It does look comfortable. It does look like a space that men would have kind of like man talk, you know what I mean? Because it kind of gives off cigar lounge or, you know what I'm saying? Like this is your own man cave type of vibe. So like shout out to them for, putting that space together the way they was. Because I thought when you were talking about going up to Bel Air that they was gonna put you in a black bottle room where it's like all these black bottles everywhere and the big.
So we chose where we wanted to shoot. So that's a thing that people don't understand. Like when it comes to creating the sets, like we walked in there, it was a bunch of sets that we could have chose from. And again, shout out to Joe, the pro creatives. He had saw that. I like that spot as well. And we was looking at some other spots and we was like, nah, we want to go with this. You know what I'm saying? Because there was some other spots that we could manipulate a little bit, but we was like, nah, let's go with this Deacon one. And it was a vibe for sure. 100%.
Got you. All right, so the next one I want to kind of jump into
when it comes to our community.
A lot of black men. This the one right here, but this is the come on now, this is maturity right here, brother. This is maturity right here. I wasn't expecting this, but I feel like you had conversation with him before.
Yeah, it's my dog.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into this opening clip that you created.
Community. A lot of black men struggle with their sexuality, and you can tell in how they treat their wives, their baby mamas. A lot of men don't even really like women. They like the feeling of the sex. They like the feeling of the intimacy. But you can tell if a lot of men were able to be with their homeboys, they would. And this is going to go viral because it's the truth, but the truth hurts because you can tell in how a man feels with how he treats his wife. I'm not talking about regular arguments and regular situations that happen because all women are not perfect. But when you go to the point of beating your wife and beating your baby mom, and it's always an issue and you're always angry, that's because you're struggling with your sexuality. That's not the whole spectrum of what it is, but I guarantee you it's on the list.
That is so crazy and inflammatory. When this hits the internet outside of the Patreon, yo, it's that is.
Oh, you ain't see? You ain't see?
I haven't. Nah.
Hit the internet.
I mean, I know the clip did. I'm talking about the whole interview is going.
The interview was out.
The interview out. Oh shit! No, I haven't paid attention. My bad.
Nah, the interview got like 11,000 views already.
Are you fucking serious, bro?
Yeah.
God, all right. Okay, so
yeah,
how the fuck did we get there? Like, how did you get there?
I think that's just something that he had on his mind. And I understand it. Basically the clip was basically saying, like a lot of these dudes be like 70% of these dudes be gay when they around men. If they're around a gay man and they're uncomfortable, it's because 70% of those niggas are gay. That's what he was basically saying. Did you see the clip?
Nah, I need to watch the whole thing. I need to watch.
No, it's a clip. It's really a clip that's really been going crazy.
Is it on your channel?
I'm about to send it to you. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
It's this one right here.
Pull it off I can pull it off your page.
I just sent it to you too.
Okay. And J Hill Network. And there's us. All right, was it a short or was it a regular video clip?
It was a reel, but I'll send it to you. I'll send it to your DM.
Oh, okay. Got you. Hold on, let me see something.
people got in a frenzy with this.
All right. Yeah. So, all right. So tell me, while I'm pulling this up, you know what I mean? Give me, first of all, what was the intent behind bringing him on? I mean, were you just like, yo, let's just have a conversation? Or did you like, yo, I want to have a conversation about this and he would be a great person to talk to?
Nah, I mean, he was somebody that I've had on, like, he was one of the first people that I had on when I came to Atlanta. But his platform has grown like tremendously since then. I think when I first met him, he had like 500,000. Now he had like damn near 800,000. Yeah, like, and he's just been going crazier. You know what I'm saying? Like going crazy. So I was like, yo, let's chop it up again. Let's have a part 2 or whatever. I didn't know what he wanted to talk about. I just know he's a good dude. You feel me? Like he's a good dude. Like he's a good friend. Like shit, man. He's a good dude for sure. But you know, it's funny, bro. I guess why you looking for the clip? This is as cool as he is, and as much as I can call him a friend, this interview still was uncomfortable for me.
Why?
I don't know, bro. It might be a maturity thing, because like I'm openly friends with him, right? But it still was like it was things he was saying that I just felt uncomfortable with, like especially when he was talking about like when he was talking about like just talking about his sexuality and dating other men, like that shit really made me uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, and I was trying not to be uncomfortable because I knew that was probably some immaturity in myself, but it was just something that I just wasn't okay with. And you know what's funny? I'm being completely transparent here. I play football, like niggas be playing around or like niggas be goofing off, right? And like it's having a conversation with an actual gay man, it was just like. It just threw me. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it just was super uncomfortable. But like, we kick it. Like, that's my dog. You feel me? But it just like, I don't know. Like, when he start, I guess I was good with talking about everything. But when he would start talking about like his encounters with other men, it was like, it just was cringy. Like, it just is like, damn, I can't. Like, I don't know. And I was like, I wanted to speak on that because like, I don't know. It just.
Now, my thing is that I know that a huge part of my uncomfortability with a lot of topics with, you know, alternative sex stuff is I was raised in a household where I was raised in a family and a community that was super like, nah, in any kind of conversation around this, you know, people look at you differently. So a lot of my uncomfortability is the fear of now am I gonna be gay? Like he talking gay. Is the gay getting off on me? And now I'm going to turn into a gay nigga and now we sucking dick in the alley. Like,
hey, yo, what the fuck? You went crazy.
Exactly. but that's the cornerstone. This is the cornerstone of my fear. So it's just like I feel where you're coming from. Like
it's funny because like I grew up in the same household. Like it was like my house, it was crazy. Like my mom said, if you ever think about that shit, you can't live with me. She's like, I'ma love you, but you can't live under my roof. Like from a young, from early as I can remember, maybe 8, 7. Like I remember like I used to like probably hold my hand like this sometimes. She used to smack the hell out of my hand, like, don't you ever like boy. Like I remember like, yeah, we ain't play that for real. Like we did not play that gay shit, boy. We did not play that. So now even me, like it's dope that I can like I look back on these things and think it's dope because like the fact that I can sit down with a gay man and have these conversations, I'm like, bro, I came a long way. That's growth because you know in our community, like in our I hate to say community now because we talking about a community of people, but where we come from, that was shunned upon. Like, bro, what you like the hell? Like you gay. But I honestly can say I wasn't feeling the way because of what people thought about me because I'm good. Like shit, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm like when it comes to that, that's the part. Like I'm good, but it just felt different. It just I don't know. Like I don't know, bro. Because like I guess when I'm around girls, I can hear them talk about each other. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about girl on girl because that's attractive to me.
That's sexy.
Yeah, when I hear a man talking about his encounters with other men, like even it was one point where he was like, he had said this is where I really got uncomfortable. He was like, he never put another man out there, right? And basically, if you trying to holler at me, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like,
he's trying to get laced, bro. Like you will become his dating service,
bro. That shit made my skin crawl. I'm not even gonna lie.
He wasn't talking to you specifically. He was just like, you don't even you don't even want to be gay adjacent. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's weird. That's why I said maybe it's immaturity. Because like, I mean, I don't. At the end of the day, I don't care what you do. It just. I don't know. It was so uncomfortable.
What it is that, and this is something that I've been worried about, is that we have not. It's only uncomfortable because it's not common. So, like, say if you was hanging out with this nigga every day, you'd be used to it. Like, all right, hit this nigga with that shit. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? But because it's like, we don't talk, you know what I mean? We don't talk about it. We don't be around it. You ain't watching nothing based around it. It still feels foreign when you hear it. You know what I mean? And it's something that I be wondering is like, I got friends that are gay. I even got I have family members that are gay. And like, as much as I love them and like love on them and be like, yo, I love y'all niggas. Like, don't even, cause like I've told the story a million times. Like one of my youngest cousins pulled my card like a motherfucker like a few years ago. And like, you know what I mean? I was telling him, like, we was in a family function and I was telling him like, I'm about to leave. Like, yo, I love you, cuz. And you're like, you don't fuck with me like that. And I like, the fuck? And we ended up having this long conversation and he divulged how like my very misogynistic, inappropriate, you know what I mean? Just the way I was abusive of him when he was younger. He thought that was because I knew he was gay. And I'm just like, nah, you was just a snitch ass.
Like, I don't know, bro. I had an experience with like one of my mom's friends, and I almost didn't like forgive her for it, to be honest, bro. Cause like she had I'll never forget, bro. She had like this. I never had like gay friends ever. Like I never had gay friends. I never would like never.
I would like some gay friends.
Nah, for sure. I for sure.
I would, yo, cause I feel like niggas.
But I'm not about to be on here, bro. We ain't about to be on like just looking. Hey. Listen, like even now, I ain't gonna lie. Like, even now, like I interview Cliff, I interview him. I interview, like, bro, like my platform ain't, but like it's still a problem. I respect you guys, but look, if you're looking for like a safe space to like come get your gay shit off, this ain't that. I'm sorry. Like I fuck with a couple of them, but like I fuck with them because even the nigga Cliff, I fuck with yo because like yo, like, and this nigga he wears woman shit, but it was the time I wanted to interview. And that nigga came through in a clutch, and it be real niggas that don't even do that. You feel me? So like, I don't give a fuck what you identify as. Like that don't got shit to do with me. But anyway, go back to the story. One of my mom's friends is gay, and like this nigga is like an old man. And like I was like, I don't know. I had to be like 17. I don't even know. 18. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm saying 18 just to. Hopefully I was 18. Hopefully, but I remember him like throwing a pass at me. And I punched this nigga in the mouth. I remember, I swear to God on my life, bro. Like, I'll never forget this, bro. And I told my mother, and like, she was like, it was like, she was just like, oh, okay. Like, oh, that's what happened. And I told her I hit him in his face or whatever. And she was like, okay, well, you did good or some shit like that. It just was like, she didn't react in a way I wanted her to react as my mom's. Like, if my son come to me and say, one of my friends took a pass on him. What? I'm saying more than okay. Like, Ron, like, I don't know, especially how you raised me as being your son. Like, you raised me as a heterosexual man. And if I ever even had thoughts of being gay, that you would kick me out, right? Like, you raised me that way. So the fact that your friend made a pass at me, right? I did what I had to do that I deemed at that time was right. That probably wasn't right. I probably shouldn't have put my hands on the guy, but it was like, bro, what? Like, what the fuck? Like,
do you feel like she kept having that nigga around after that?
I don't know, because by the time, that's why I said I had to probably was a little older, because I wasn't like, we got a weird relationship. Like by that time I wasn't like dependent on my mom's. You know what I'm saying? Like I was on my own. But I remember he picked me up in a car or some shit because like it was a close friend of the family. So I'm not thinking about that. Like, bro, he's a friend of the family. And I remember him saying something. Bro.
I want to joke so bad. I do, yo. I got a million jokes running through my mind, and I'm just being cool right now. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do it. But the point I'm trying to make is she might have distanced herself from that nigga after that, but that's something you and her got to discuss. Like, you know what I mean? And if she didn't, this sounds like a great conversation piece. You know what I mean? Next time y'all have dinner together or y'all, you know, I wouldn't do it over the phone. I just would love to have the fun of having that conversation face to face.
I think, you know what's funny? I think I think gay men are becoming too comfortable.
All right, break that down because I need to understand.
I think gay men are becoming too comfortable because the world is becoming more accepting, and that's good. That you can live in your truth and you can be you unapologetically. I think we all should be able to do that. But at the end of the day, we should have some discernment of how we act and which and where we act, right? And it's something that I had a conversation with Big Sexy about, especially like when it comes to like in a public setting. At the end of the day, this isn't a norm of our world, so you should understand where you are. Read the room a little bit.
Okay, that's the same shit I said about Sexy Red. But now y'all be saying, let the girl do what she want to do. Gotta come to the guy.
What you say?
No, I'm just saying all of the like the over the top, over sexualization, hood rat shit that she be doing. Like, yo, like there's a space for that. It don't need to
be in that space. You don't have to. That's the difference. She's in that space. You don't have to listen to her. If we're sharing in the same space,
right?
And you're just being flamboyant, you're being over the top. That's too much for me. That's what I mean. Like for example, Lizzo, and this is a conversation I had with Big Sexy on a podcast. Lizzo, we know that you love being fat. Okay, be fat, but don't try to like. Now you're coming to a point where it's like you're promoting it for us to want to be fat too. And no, like that's not healthy. Like you can love being fat, and I don't want to talk down on you. It's not my job to talk down on you. But when you parade around it so much, I mean, maybe we gotta start telling some facts in it. Like, yo, this is not healthy. No, kids, you don't want to be like that. This is not normal, guys. Like, not and that's not me trying. I'm not trying to down her, but it's like it makes me want to tell my truth if she's telling her truth.
Okay, so I would say if Lizzo, my pushback on the Lizzo thing is, it's inappropriate to go to all ages event like a basketball game
with your ass out. I was going to get to that. Yeah,
that's where I would be like, now her being big and promoting her being big and all that. I feel like a lot of that is pushback because her comments is probably flooded with a bunch of skinny motherfuckers talking about how she's disgusting and she should kill herself. So her. You know what I mean? Being front facing, presenting about loving her size is her defending her space of who she is and who she chooses to be. So like, I'm not knocking her on it.
When you say defending, I feel like she's only defending something because of something she put out there. Like if I give my opinion on something on the internet and people then reply to my opinion, I mean, I have to deal with my actions first. I put my opinion on the internet. Like you're running around eating like it's just like flamboyance. It's not like you're just chilling and we're talking shit about you. Like you're running around like doing crazy stuff because you know that it's going to garner attention. So when you get the attention, you can't cry about it.
I agree, but then where does it stop? Once we start telling people what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, then it becomes a whole different thing. So like, yes, times have changed. And yes, now people are being more authentically themselves, meaning that however they feel is who they are is what they're going to present. So once again, I'm going to say that from my perspective, even though it's uncomfortable for me, or I feel weird sometimes being out in certain spaces and dudes is going a little over the top, but I got to start realizing that, bro, it's a new world out here, man. Do your thing. And guess what? I will remove myself because that's the person I can control. So like, if it's something that I really feel like is bugging. Now, if a dude start walking in the room and he getting all up in my face about it, that's when I'm like, all right, bro, you violating. But if you with your homies and y'all kicking it and y'all grabbing on each other's butts or whatever, I'm going to laugh, but I'm going to leave. And I'll be like, yo, I'm going to let these niggas do what they're going to do. You know what I mean? As long as it's like that. But inclusion includes everybody, meaning that like you're going to have more films and television shows with prominent gay characters. And yo, let me tell you something. The thing I had to get over the most was me loving, what is it called? The Pink, or whatever the name of that TV show was, the Pink Palace or something like that. But it was a great show, but they had these man-on-man sex scenes. I just had to get used to it. I had to, not saying I had to accept it and be like, yo, I love seeing it. But I had to be like, all right, yo, this is a part of the story. This is what the new norm is. Do what you do, my nigga. Like, yo, just
one of my coworkers, years ago, maybe like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, said something to me. And I was like, you know what? I accept that. He was a gay guy and he was talking about like his experience with men.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, like, I don't have no problem with gay. I always said this since I was young. I don't really have no problem with gay, but like, bro, what you do, bro, like, keep that to yourself. You feel me? Like, I don't want to hear all that. And he was like, okay, what's the difference when you and y'all talk about y'all girls and how y'all do that, and I'm present? You don't think that made me feel uncomfortable? So y'all can do that, but then y'all get upset when I do it. And it's like, I accept that, even though like my side is the norm, but on a respect level. That's all I'm saying, right? So it's like if you're in my presence and I know that's something that you're not comfortable with, maybe I can be mindful of the conversations that I'm having. And that's all I'm saying. Same vice versa. Like if you're in my presence and you know that I'm a heterosexual male, right? You never got no hints of like no weird, no, well, not weird. No, I'm sorry. You never got no hints of no gay stuff from me, right? Be mindful of the conversation that you have around me as well. I think that's just a mutual respect. That's all I'm really saying. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, because again, they could do what they want. That's not none of my concern or none of my life, especially if I'm not in their I can exit that. But if we're around each other, I think we should just have a mutual respect, both sides.
Word. No, definitely. And then like, I think growing in the space as well, being in this entertainment space so long, and having people like Chef Patrick be my homie, and then like him come out to my events and be just completely like a woman, and I'll be like having a like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I've kind of gotten used to it, and I'd be like, yo, I respect it, bro. Do your thing, have fun. And as long as you just not getting totally drunk and then like, you know, swinging dick around everywhere, we should be good.
And that's one thing that I definitely want to that I will not be. And I think I was talking to Big Sexy about this again. Like, I don't never want to be somebody that the person that's going to police who you truly are, right? Because if you're my friend, you should be able to be my friend with no limitations. Like that's what a friend is, I think, right? So if I invite you out and I don't know, one day you want to wear a dress because you think you like dressing like a girl, I don't care. That shouldn't dictate how I treat you as a friend, because you're still my friend.
That's a fact. But I feel like you're being exceptionally open for that. But let's get into this big sexy the clip.
Black man, I know the reality of what it is. When you get around a man and he is so uncomfortable, I promise you, 70% of the time is because he's gay. Because as people, you're going to always be uncomfortable around a person when you feel like they may clock your teeth. I'm sitting here in front of your wife. You feel like I may tell her, oh, yeah.
I saw this clip, and I would just like to say, because I talked to the screen when I saw this clip.
That's good.
I really did. I really talked to the screen, and it was like,
play that thing. Play it. Did you play the whole thing?
No, I ain't played the whole thing. I
always be on edge. You in front of your homeboys. You just want to make it seem as though you is the furthest one that approve of shit like that, and those be the most curious.
Or it could be that a nigga come from a certain environment that was looked down on so much that I can't even be cool. Absolutely. Like, bro, like even me being friends with you, it was a certain level that I had to unlock in myself to be able to be open to gay men. Like to be friends with gay men, because I didn't even knew that existed where I'm from. You could be right? Because you got the experience. But I'm saying there is another level to that where men just don't even know what that looked like. Men can't even process that in their brain because we only used to a certain level of interaction with a certain type of person.
Absolutely, and that I get, because certain things are indoctrinated in us and certain things we are taught. So certain things outside of the norm of fried chicken and rice, we don't know what teriyaki chicken looks like. So anytime I'm eating teriyaki chicken or I go overseas, I'm not used to teriyaki chicken. I'm used to fried rice and chicken. So I get when you're used to the norm of what you are used to and what is taught to you, that is the only thing that you know. But let me tell you something. Coming from experience, okay? Even those that are used to the norm, they get very curious, because guess what? As people, it's in our nature to be curious. One day we like lollipops, one day we like Kit Kats. One day we like Reese's Pieces, one day we like white chocolate, one day we want a Snickers. We are just curious human beings, but a lot of people, they don't have the reach or the maturity to have those type of conversations in order to be real enough to say those things. So a lot of times when it comes to our community, a lot of black men struggle with their sexuality. And you can tell in how they treat their wives, their baby mamas. A lot of men don't even really like women. They like the feeling of the sex. They like the feeling of the intimacy. But you can tell if a lot of men were able to be with their homeboys, they would.
Yeah, so I say this a lot, is that a lot of people bring their own biases into their conversations, and a lot of times they bring themselves into their conversation. So what they are saying that they see in somebody else, or what they theorize to be, yeah, that's something you probably went through personally, or that's something that you probably struggle with. But that doesn't mean that that's 80, 90%
70% of men. I
was like, damn, Scotty, that's a big ass number. That's a large percentage. And I'm like, as I was talking to the screen, I kept saying that, like, bro, like, this is your opinion, but this is also based on your POV or your personal experiences. And I'm like, the world is much bigger than that particular thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but I love the fact that you are honest about, becoming friends with somebody in this space. Me and you became friends. I had to evolve to a space to learn that this is a norm. Hey,
this is okay.
This gotta be cool. This is okay. I wouldn't use the term unlock, because it just him unlocking something in you.
No, when I say, I was like, I had to unlock of me being open to gay people. That was crazy. I'm like, being open to gay. Oh, so now you open to gay people. I'm glad I cleared that up. Like, being open to being friends with gay people. Like, I looked at that conversation like, oh shit. Like, oh, now you open to gay people, huh? All right. Please don't DM me.
To you in the comments. I know they was lighting you up like a Christmas tree.
Don't DM me, man. Like, I'm not open to gay people. Like, no, I'm not.
And for clarification, he's not open to a gay relationship or in any intimacy with a man at all. I mean? But if y'all want to hang out and get some chicken wings and some rice, some fried rice, he likes chicken wings and fried rice.
I don't even think I want teriyaki chicken no more. The way he broke it down, he's like, some people just used to chicken and rice. You know what I'm saying? So when we go out of town and we see teriyaki chicken, it's different. We don't know, but we get curious. You know what? You're right. I ain't trying no more new shit.
I'm gonna stick with what I know.
Nigga.
You know what I'm saying? It's a rat, bro. Like, you have convinced me that new things are bad. Like,
nigga, don't try nothing new, nigga. But nah, it was a great. Overall, though, the conversation was amazing. Shit was fire. Like, it was great. It's doing good. And I mean, it got the internet. It did what it's supposed to do. It got the internet and the frenzy talking shit. I mean. That clip alone did like 250,000 views, something like that. Yeah.
This nigga, he back. He was just complaining a month ago of being cold out here. Look, see? That's all they do. That's this game. I wish you get used to that shit, bro. This the game, bro. You got days things gonna be hot, days things gonna be cold, and like you just gotta keep working, and everything come together like it's supposed to, bro. Like that's just the game. But anyway, not even. I want to move on to some of the other popular topics real quick.
I know you had something that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I definitely do. That's something different, but I want to get this Kendrick conversation going. Kendrick just came out and did his Kenny and Friends concert.
Pop out tour.
Friend pop out tour. And in the Ken and Friends pop out tour, he brought out the entire West Coast. Pretty much for clarification, when you talk about West Coast, he's talking about new West Coast. Not saying that he intentionally was trying to keep older West Coast artists out of it. That's not it at all. Is that there were not only a lot of the G's that kind of established the West Coast that he made sure that was out there, but a lot of the lesser known, like really dope West Coast acts. He brought everybody together and like took the big gigantic picture on the stage. He performed. You know what I'm saying? His Not Like Us 5 times back to back. His wife was there. LeBron James is there. He created a cultural hip hop moment for the West Coast that I've never seen before. Like football stadium, baseball stadium, whatever the hell it was, sold out. I even heard that he refunded tickets.
I heard that.
Out of town people just so that the LA, because this will be a LA moment. That's crazy. From your perspective, seeing this all go down and then waking up the next day and seeing social media reacting the way it did, I need your opinion, brother. Talk about it.
I mean, when I first saw it, I just thought it was amazing. I was like, this is insane. Of course, I'm a Drake fan, so it doesn't make it better. I'm like, damn, because I don't know if Drake does this, because even if Drake does this, he can't do this because first of all, he's not from here. He's from Canada. Right. So like it means so much more for a Kendrick Lamar to do it, especially doing it for the West Coast. You know, a lot of times they feel like they're overlooked. A lot of times it seems like we're leaving the West Coast out when it comes to the hip hop conversation. So the fact that Kendrick Lamar, after this rap beef that we all declared that he won, brings the whole West Coast together, different hoods, different cliques on one stage. And able to give a great show like this. I mean, what is it? What else to say? I mean, I don't even know what to say. It just was amazing. It was a great moment in hip hop. I'm grateful that I'm able to be alive and see something like this because I definitely think this is going to be something that's going to be spoken about in the future. Right? I don't think I've seen anything like this before when it comes to music.
Right. I would like to say that and we've had this conversation before about gang culture being so deeply rooted in the West Coast, and there are certain things that can happen because of gang culture that probably wouldn't happen anywhere else. So, like, let's say, for instance, if I got a big homie and I'm YG and I'm having a problem with this other nigga over here, the big homie going to say, "Look, we got to make this moment happen." So, like, this got to happen. Like, what Kendrick is doing is bigger than your beef. So, like, act like you know. Because I don't want to have to whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? So just get in here and act right. And let's just have a good night. And I feel like because of gang culture, because there is a collective of people that are at least focused on the greater good and understanding that like we need to have order outside of just the governmental system so that we can maneuver and make things happen. It just made that moment extra special. You know what I'm saying? Blue and red could be on the stage together and everything be comfortable. Nobody had no problems. Nobody feeling no kind of way. And then everybody got time to shine. Everybody got their 5 minutes. And then, you know, everybody got their picture with Kendrick. Everybody got their, which you're talking about somebody who's normally very private. He doesn't come out. He doesn't make himself available to everybody. He doesn't give everybody verses. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't show up. Not necessarily that his intention is fuck niggas, but that's just, you know, he's just a different animal, bro. So like for him to be able to extend himself in this moment when he is at his hottest, you are at your brightest, where you don't need to do this. I don't need y'all niggas. I just killed the biggest nigga in the game. It's all I could have just shot my music video, I could have made this whole run about me. But for him to go, yo, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna put this light on to my entire coast. I'm gonna put my entire here, look, here, y'all, boom. I'm gonna have my fun. I'm gonna, you know, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it a hip hop. And here's another part. He came out looking like a hip hop artist. The gold chains, the big jewelry, the hoodies, and the da. Because normally, you know, when it's performance time for him, it's art. You know what I mean? Special stage. His outfits are gonna reflect more of whatever the conscious moment is. But him to consciously come out, look like a hip hop artist. You know, to even tease Drake in all these different ways by replicating the dance and replicating these different looks. I felt like it was very intentional for him to celebrate hip hop his way, but to also celebrate his coast. And I feel like, bro, I haven't seen anything like that from your generation.
And what I will say though, all that shit is fine, but Not Like Us still not a bigger record than Back to Back. I was thinking about this the other day. I was listening to Not Like Us. I think it was playing in a club or something like that. And I'm like, this shit crank. But I'm kind of getting tired of it now. Back to Back had a strong year plus, maybe 2 years. Where, I mean, you really was playing that shit back to back and the clubs was hitting. Like, Not Like Us hitting in the club right now. It definitely is. But Back to Back, even down to the lyrics where you could just cut the music off and niggas just singing the whole song. Niggas ain't really singing the whole song of Not Like Us. They don't really know it. Not the whole song. They know bits and pieces to it. So as dope as this is, it still shows the level where Drake is though. Back to Back is probably top 5 greatest diss songs ever.
But did Back to Back go double platinum, nigga?
Nigga, I don't know. Wait, so Not Like Us went double platinum already?
Platinum, baby. It's double platinum right now.
Mean, I guess.
And the video's not out. We ain't even shot.
Who measures? Like, we talking about the numbers. I'm talking about the impact of. I'm talking about cultural impact. No, I'm being real. I'm being real.
That's a part of cultural impact, bro. That the numbers is a part of like us being able to measure.
Let me get Wayno on the phone. Did Back to Back go double platinum? I don't know. I
thought you was gonna call this nigga for real. I'm like, yeah, call that nigga.
No, I ain't gonna call him. But I just feel like Back to Back was definitely a bigger record than Not Like Us. I don't know. When I was listening to Back to Back, I think that shit had at least a year too strong run. I don't think Not Like Us going like a year from now. I don't think we're listening to Not Like Us the same.
I think you're just upset, and it's fine. All right, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you feel better. Okay, let me throw some stats up. All right, I got these straight off of the internet, so who knows if any of this is right or wrong. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects from Kendrick. His total sales 8.5 million. 8.5 million records. All right, that means 8 times platinum. Drake has sold 38 million records, 38 times platinum. You understand me? 4 on his first album, 8 on his second album, 6 on his third, 8 on his fourth, 7 on his fifth, 7 on your fifth album, 3 times platinum on your 6th album. Your 7th album went platinum, and your 8th album went platinum, which just came out last year. He's doing good. And of course, the third GOAT is J. Cole with 14 times platinum, man. First album platinum, second album 3 times, third album 5 times, and then you got 2 times, and then 1 time. So like, bruh, it's
I'm just talking about the single. I'm just talking about Not Like Us versus Back to Back.
Alicia, maybe this is your first time tuning into this live stream. He been hating, like, you know what I'm saying?
So y'all saying I'm hating because I'm saying that Back to Back was a bigger record than Not Like Us? That's hate,
bruh. Not Like Us is on the radio in Atlanta. Not Like Us on the radio in Baltimore. Not Like Us is on the radio in New York, bruh. Like, what are you talking? It's in the clubs. It's on the radio. They sold 2 million copies. Are we not? Yo, T performed the song 5 times at his concert, and niggas went crazier and crazier every time the song came on. Can we not admit that this has cultural impact?
I never said it didn't. I'm just saying I don't think it's a bigger impact than Back to Back. I never said it didn't have cultural impact.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you ride on that one. And the only reason why I can't argue it is because it needs more time. Because how old is the record at this point? A month?
Yeah, and I'm saying I'm getting tired of it. We a month in, 2 months in. I'm kind of getting tired of it.
I'm not mad at you. Everybody did. Like, I got mad at the back-to-back joint after a while, but you know what I mean? That's just life in general.
After like a year.
Stop it. You know what?
He had the world in a chokehold, not just the United States. He had the world in a chokehold for at least a year straight.
Kendrick has the world in a chokehold right now.
Yeah,
now whether he gonna have him in a chokehold for the next year, that's yet to be seen. And I'm not gonna continue to argue about that. Look, I ain't come here to sit here with you and argue about some Kendrick and Drake. I just wanted to acknowledge the concert was something special. Like, it was an important moment. And you know what I'm saying?
To be honest, man, the concert made the records even bigger. Like, when he performed Euphoria, like, I wasn't a big fan of Euphoria, but like listening to him do it live, I'm like, damn, like, this shit is good. Like, he's really, it just added more fuel to the fire. Like,
and this goes back into the conversation I've had behind closed doors with a lot of business people when they say, is streaming really a thing anymore? And I'm like, the fuck is you talking about? When there was close to 1 million people watching Casanat with Kevin Hart. Like, you see this concert come out and it has worldwide impact. Streaming is the future. There's always going to be a want and need for people to enjoy collective things together. People are going to want to get together, get on Twitter and talk trash about some shit as it's really happening. We still like moments. I don't even know why we still have these discussions about whether streaming is still a thing and whether live is still a thing. Bro, we're always going to want those type of things. And no matter what platform it is, as long as it can handle the workload, meaning it can handle the customer base, and you're giving people something that we want to see, people are going to be there to watch it. You know what I mean? And you still got to market it, but I don't know. I'm proud of Amazon. That is a great move on their part. They're still trying to amp up their customer base as far as their streaming. But You know what I mean? They're making waves, baby.
Do you think this beef affects OVO Fest? Because Drake literally just announced the OVO Fest dates, I think.
Nah, I think that's going to help ticket sales because everybody's going to want to see and hear what Drake is going to do.
But if Drake, again, and the beef is over at this point, but it's like we're always going to compare, right?
Is it over?
It's over. Like Kendrick won, right? Kendrick Lamar dropped Ken and Friends pop-out show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Drake releases the dates for OVO Fest.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that it's not in the back of people's minds going to OVO Fest that they expect something like what Kendrick Lamar did. I just feel like that's just naturally who we are. We're going to put them against each other. So now we can't even look at OVO Fest the same. Or am I just totally wrong with that? People just going to go in.
No, I feel like once again, people are going to pack that building out because they're going to want to see what the big homie's going to do. Now, my question is, who's going to perform down there? Was J. Cole going to be there? Like, who going to be a headliner?
My question is, how does the performance measure to what Kendrick Lamar did?
Drake still has the ability to bring out whoever he wants. Yo, look, I wouldn't even put it past Drake to reach out and be like, let's squash this and let me bring Kendrick out and we perform our beef records back to back. Like, bruh, like there's like Drake.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I can see saving. I thought the only thing I can see Drake doing that really tops Kendrick Lamar performance if he did that.
I feel like he could dig that. He could dig into Toronto culture and find the legends that have been established over the last 30 years, and he could bring them out and create a Canadian Toronto moment.
But do we want to see that? Think about, like, honestly, I don't remember. I know people performed at Kendrick Lamar show, right? Of course, it was Ken and Friends. Mm-hmm. But they not showing the clips of everybody else. They showing the clips of Kendrick Lamar, and his set was fire. I'm like, so minus everybody else, Drake, can you put a set together that's gonna make us be like, wow? Because he's already been on tour. Like we already know all of his music. Like he's great. Like we already know he's Beatle level artist.
Now I will agree
with new music because it was just beef shit. You feel me? And we loved it. So can Drake do that?
That's where it will be difficult because Kendrick practices creating product and creating scarcity, meaning that he doesn't tour a lot, he's not out a lot. So when he does come out, it's an event. We get Drake all the time. Like Drake has toured an immense amount over the last few years. So for us to be like, yeah, there's going to be a Drake performance, yes, we will want to see it. But like you said, we've seen him so much. What is going to make this more special than anything else? And that's why I said people are going to go because the expectation is you're going to give me more beef. Other than that, you're going to give me Hove. You're going to get, you got it. I mean, like for real, you got to dig into that big ass bag. Yo, I'm going to bring Beyonce out, Hove and Beyonce. They're going to go. That's what's going to make people go crazy. I mean, there's a few things you could do.
I don't think he wins. I don't think he can win in this situation. Only because, bro, even if I don't want to hear another, like, yo, you should have been dropped the diss. I don't want to hear another diss. Like, don't come out on stage saying some new diss shit. Like, it's too late.
Got you. Drake is done. That video killed Drake when it dropped, and Kendrick never fucking with him ever, nor is California. Drake don't put a set together like that. He did it. Has to be with the Hot Boys or Young Money. Yeah, he gonna bring out Tiger and all the rest of
we already seen that.
And did the Young Money reunion.
You gonna bring out Lil Wayne? We already seen that.
But you gotta bring everybody out. He said he bring out the Hot Boys and YMCMB.
I don't know. Like I don't think Drake wins in this. Like just leave it alone. Just go ahead and do OVO Fest, do all your hits, and just walk away. What I don't want to see is you come do OVO Fest, you try to drop a new diss song. Like we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that, bro. You should have been did that. Should have been got up.
Nah, I mean, once again, I get where you coming from. I respect that, but I definitely feel like there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of directions this can go. So I'm just gonna be like, yo, do what you do. So let me go to OVO sound. All right. Naomi Sharon. Ooh, I can't wait. She coming up this way. All right. Baka Not Nice. He's still on the label. Damn, I thought they would have canceled that nigga out years ago. I don't even see the lineup. Let me see if I go to Ticketmaster and see if I see a lineup for it. Okay, so they got a section for it, but they don't have no information about it. So I don't know. Like, I'm with you on that, bro. Like, we got a whole different thing. All right. Let's move on. I wanted to kind of get more into this clip.
Breaking news, Universal does it again. A direct-to-consumer is coming. You know, it's kind of interesting the way that they're kind of doing this, or from what I'm reading on it and from what I'm being told, is that Universal will now basically do what's called a sample clearance with you, so you can use their music on your TikTok. Remember all those TikTok deals and coming to an agreement with Twitch and all of these people? Well, now what they're doing is they're licensing their music to you for use on the social platforms. But keep in mind, for royalties and everything, they're tracking it. So if you're an artist and you use something from their platform or something that's licensed from them, they can literally track what you did. Now, you aside, they can copy that pattern and use it for themselves because you showed them the path to get there.
So it's a longer conversation, but because I just realized that it's 2:45 and you got to get out of here.
You check my phone? I mean, you text? You check. I text you.
Oh, all right. My bad. But like, yeah, no, I'm good. All right. So like what I want to real quick get in and out is, does this something that you be interested in? I mean, you create a lot of content in different places. Would you feel more comfortable being able to say, I'll pay, let's say $20 a month to Universal so that you can use any record that you wanted into your Instagram, and them not take away the ability for you to make money. So now you can post and make money off of these clips and you just pay a base fee, even if it may be $100 a month. Would that benefit you?
I think it would benefit me, but because I don't use it as much, I probably wouldn't pay because I'm not doing it now. Now, if I was doing it all the time, I think it's definitely worth it because a lot of times you want to use different songs, you want to use different music bids under your videos and your content, and it helps the content grow. Especially we seen on Instagram that has a big part to play when it comes to engagement. However, I just don't utilize that part of social media or that part of my video as much. So I personally wouldn't pay, but I would definitely suggest for people to do it, especially people that got these music podcasts. They want to play songs. All of that helps with the audience retention. That helps with the audience experience. So like, yeah, I definitely would suggest it. As far as me, I'm just not in that space right now. Like, we're creating things to get there, but right now I'm just doing interviews. Like, we're just having conversations. So I don't need to integrate the music into my show. However, eventually I will, and it'll be dope because now your audience can experience it more. You know what I'm saying? They hear the music, is a vibe. We watching it, we listen to music. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think it's worth it.
Okay. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get up out of here. Jay Hill's got important things to do this afternoon, and I am starving, ready to get me some food. Make sure if you haven't done so, subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com, Jay Hill Podcast on, you know what I mean? And then follow me and him on social media at JS1 Supplier, at Mr. _Jay Hill. Also, I will be live streaming 6 p.m. on my YouTube channel, VVC Life. I got Black Nerd Podcast jumping off, so please tap in with us. And then, I'm trying to get some extra days live streaming with Jay. We're going to figure it out. And then, like, once I move to the A, then it'll be on and cracking probably 2-3 days a week. So anyway, with that being said, Jay, you got anything else you want to say before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all. We definitely want to do this more often, like at least 3 times a week. Yeah, let's get it in, man. We got to be consistent with this.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. Hey, don't forget to show some love and throw some money in something somewhere.
Oh yeah, man. Hit the super chat, man.
Yeah.
Throw like $3 in there or something, man.
Yeah,
it help with production and all that cool stuff for real.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. I want to talk about the verses. The verses is coming back. Do you care? Does Jay Hill give a damn anything about seeing Verzuz come back? Or in your mind, do you feel like Verzuz have run its course and should be in creative grave.
Nah, do I care? No, but do I think it ran its course? No, because we always want to see one person against the other person, right? The best versus the best. And is a group of people out there who go to concerts. I might not be one of them, right? And or might just not be that I'm not in that space right now. However, what better concert to go to than my favorite versus my favorite? Like that's a great show. It don't have to be something that we watch, and it could be something that we watch in the house as well, right? For date nights and things like that. I know a lot of this was during COVID. We ain't had nowhere to go, but maybe we can put this so it can have some replay value, like they started to do after post COVID, right? It could be shot. It could be shot with some good production, maybe on Amazon, maybe on Netflix. I don't know where, as though we could just go back and we could vibe to it, right? Especially, and then also with the live performance key too is like that's a show, that's a concert that people would love to go to.
So a part of this deal is them working with Elon Musk and X to create long form content. So like Twitter has been really big on trying to get people to enjoy long form videos on Twitter. This is going to be a part of that move to getting content creators there. Would you feel comfortable watching an entire 2 hour long, 3 hour long video on Twitter?
Not on my phone, but yeah, if there's a way to pull it up on my TV, or like, well, yeah, if there's a way I can pull it up on my TV for sure, right? Because now, like, you have to pull it up on your laptop, then mirror the screen to your TV. That's just a lot. I don't want to do all that extra stuff. But if there's a way for me to like download it on my TV and we could do that,
yeah. A Twitter app for your television is
I understand why they want to do this, because the longer you stay on the platform, right, the longer people engage with it, the more you can sell advertisement. We already know it's all about money. So I get why they want people to be on that longer, but it's like Twitter, I'm trying to see how it makes sense for.
But like, what if we had a Twitter app, right, where you could go up and then the people you follow, you can see their videos. You could click on the video you want, and then you could see the live tweets at the bottom of the screen, like anything that's had, like you could pull up a hashtag or something, and then
like they was doing on Verzuz. Like they was doing for live. Yeah,
I think that shit would be hard, bro.
I think it would be hard. It's just it's about the user experience. Like it's a fire concept, but we all know people are like, we're accustomed to what we're used to, right? So, and we're lazy. Like, I don't want to have so you mean to tell me I gotta have my phone in my hand for a whole hour and a half? I can't go do a text. I can't scroll my gram or nothing and just listen. I mean, that's a lot to ask for somebody to do.
Word. I'm definitely interested to see where this is gonna go and how they make it amenable for everybody. I love the fact that Timberland and Swiss are adamant about holding on to the ownership and control of it. Thank you, gentlemen, for that. And and I'm excited to see them coming back. What I do want to talk about next week is who we will want to see go facing off in Verzuz. But with that being said, we out of here. We check y'all next week. Peace.